Hmm. Good morning, angels. I had this really uh, funny moment just now in my mind, in like my auditory experience before going live, where I just heard "Good morning, angels," and I heard "Good morning, Charlie" from like Charlie's Angels, which is funny for me because my little dog, my cute little pup Yorkie poodle, is named Charlie. So I just thought of like my family going, "Good morning, Charlie," when he's like, "Good morning, angels," which is really cute. Good morning. How are we this morning? What day is it? Thursday. How are you feeling this morning? How are you flowing? How was your experience yesterday with silence? I know it was fairly profound. It was very profound for me yesterday, just being in more silence than I have been the last. Hello, Oren. um, than I have been. Like I've been pretty silent and still the last several weeks, but yesterday was like next level, which was really sweet. And I attended a really beautiful sound healing, which was a nice surprise to my day, and totally surrendered to that. And I'm still integrating, so I won't share too much, but it was definitely profound and really like one of the many things that I received from the space is when someone is really really deep in their integrity and like really cares so deeply about what they're bringing forth, and it has the depths of knowledge that I so deeply appreciate. It made such a difference, and it was so profound, and I'm really grateful to have experienced someone with such um, just like such love and wisdom and depth and integrity with their work, with sharing sound the way that they did. So I'm just really really grateful for that, and um, it brought a lot of peace to my heart, which is beautiful because today I woke up. It was very hard for me to wake up this morning, actually, and and I was like, commitment, discipline, let's do it, let's go. And I woke up, and as soon as I like started moving my body and dropped into meditation before going live with you all, I was like, I'm still tired, but I'm really happy to be here. Like, I'm happy to show up. And like, I feel a lot of peace in that. And the peace that I have found with doing this 21 Days of Angels is that it's a consistent practice now for the last 15 days that will culminate in the 21 days. And it's like, I'm showing up no matter where I'm at and able to just be in that and also be present with all of you and share whatever the stream is coming through. And it's been really beautiful. So today when I tuned in, it was like this peaceful energy, and the angel of peace, the angelic frequency of peace, actually came in much earlier. um I think it was like in the first week of doing this. It was probably day 4 or 5 when I think it was I was tuning into the angel of presence, and it was also the angel of peace. And I was like, okay, I know peace will come when that frequency will come in, and it came in today. And something that I'd love to share with you all is this phrase that I had heard um, several years ago, and I don't remember from where. Um, yeah, I don't remember from where, but it's a phrase that stayed with me for quite since then, and I've brought it into my life as well as my work with clients and just everywhere. And sharing this phrase has really shifted the way that I flow through the world more now. That invites me to be more in an intuitive space, in a allowance space, and the allowance to slow down. So the phrase is going at the pace of your peace. Now, what is that? Only you know. I know that for me, going at the pace of my peace in this present moment is very much taking a step back, slowing down, and witnessing what's happening. And then from that, like that still place, that place that's deep within, that has all the answers that I'm seeking, to let that then move forward. So the pace of peace, and I think this is something very interesting that came in for me the other day. Yesterday, actually, I was on the phone with a dear friend of mine, and I had realized that, I had made chaos so much a part of my life, or some sort of realms of chaos, that chaos became my peace. And so then peace, that sort of calmness, sometimes felt very chaotic because it's not what my system was used to. However, when I allowed myself to step into the space of like calmness, letting the nervous system relax and come into the parasympathetic. I hope I'm not messing that up, but the calm state of the nervous system, then all of a sudden I could breathe deeper, I could feel clear, like my brain fog clears, and all of this stuff. So it's a reintegration of peace, and also getting curious and letting the definition of peace be what it is for you. And I think on a general sense, like an overall feeling of peace is calmness, is really grounded and centered, and the space of just like a very strong pillar. So peace, if the nervous system flares, if there's stress in a way that does not feel conducive to what's happening, because the body always goes through some stress, right? The nervous system goes through some stress when in growth or when in an expansion or leaning into an edge. There are electrical impulses that move through the nervous system, that move through the neurons. um, but when it's like over stress, like we're constantly in fight or flight, or there's continuous flaring, there's not a lot of like relax, that space of like I'm going to sleep almost, that relaxed meditative state. So my invitation to you today is to get curious what the pace of your peace is right now. And if you don't know what that is, begin by maybe tuning into something again that brings you joy, that doesn't feel like it's necessarily something that you have to do, where it's just like there's a lot of doing and processing and all this other stuff, but it's something that you can do without, let's say, a lot of effort. Like it can be as simple as crocheting. Like that's something that I love to do when the weather starts getting cooler, which I haven't actually done quite this year, but it's like something to do, and it's like a repetitive motion, and it's like I'm putting my energy and focus into this, but I don't have to overthink it. I don't have to, like, there's not a lot of processing that happens in doing that. And so I can go into this state of ease with it. So that's an example. It can be, for some people, it's cooking. I'm going into nature is always what I recommend. Always, even if it's your local park, or even taking a bath. Water is nature. So get curious about what is the pace of your peace, and with that, giving allowance to what that is, right? Because it can sometimes be so far against, or in opposition with what has been the norm, with what has been the sort of like normal operating system, right? At least for a while. Because I think when we come into this world, as we are as fresh human beings, peace is a big part of our experience, or we know peace. We know peace in our bodies. And so, yeah, getting curious about what is the pace of my peace. And sometimes the pace of your peace, like, again, surrendering to how it looks like and how it flows, because sometimes you can be in complete peace and be moving very quickly and just flowing, and it's just like ease. But it's like the nervous system is a really, like, I always love to tune into the spine. Like, is it flared? It's kind of like the image that I'm getting right now is like the cat with its back arch, where it's like, it's like, and it's like, is that what's happening within your body? Like this sort of like, I'm on edge, I'm like feeling electrocuted. And it's coming back. And if that means that you need to stop 20 times today to just be like, okay, come back, or 100 times today, or one time today, like, give yourself that permission today to get curious about the pace of your peace and what that entails to really support that peace. Because when we're in peace and when we're in that grounded place, then there's a lot of space that's created for creativity, for movement, for clarity, for all this stuff that we so often seek and try to do to get. And really, it's a lot of the time it's taking a step back and just going, okay, what's here, right? There's a beauty in slowness, and there's a beauty in the slowness of being fast, if that makes sense. There's this space of like fluidity that moves, and it's like I have found in my experience where I can like allow my slowness while moving quite quickly, and as well the opposite, like moving quite quickly and allowing slowness. And it's this balance point, and it's curiosity, and it changes day to day, moment to moment. But with peace, this is also coming in quite strongly in this moment. It's like with peace, that like inner peace, or that knowing of that, there is no need for validation, or there is no need to receive proof that that you're on the path. And that being said, there's a beauty in allowing reality to reflect. And we are very human as well as we are infinite. And so having these moments where like, okay, I know I've gotten all the signs, but I just need one more sign. And the universe, God, goddess, whatever you want to call the God of your understanding, the spirit of your understanding, is so abundant, is so abundant and wants to give, and is like, yeah, okay, here's another sign, and then it continuously asks us to step into deeper trust with the things that come forward. So with peace, there is this inner knowing where it's like, I'm taken care of, I know why I'm here, and I'm doing the best I can in this moment, and I'm learning what my peace is. And the beauty is that when we're in that peace and that inner knowing where you don't need the external validation, then when the external validation comes, it's like this beautiful gift. It's not so hungry. It's not so like, I gotta get this. It's more of just like, oh, wow, thanks. It's like for me, it feels like a breath of fresh air. So I think that's really stunning and really beautiful. And I'm curious if you're open to sharing, if you feel called to share, what is the pace of your peace right now? And what does peace mean to you? And if peace is a very foreign idea, a foreign feeling for you, because of upbringing, because of where you live, because of whatever it is, can there be an invitation for a reframe of what peace is? Yeah, or what peace can be. And peace, a lot of times, can be connected to your joy. And it can be very simple. Again, like taking some crayons and drawing a photo, or, putting on your favorite song and just belting it out in your room, or just taking a moment to sit still, or dancing, or helping others. Like this coincides and moves and weaves with peace a lot. So I would be curious. For me, my pace of peace right now is as slow as I have been, is to, in that slowness, connect really deeply. And I've allowed myself to do that, and removed a lot of limitations around this moment of slowness, where I feel like I'm like, I don't want to isolate. I don't want to necessarily like hermit in a way where I'm like not, connecting. Although sometimes there are days where I'm like, it's just me and I don't want anyone else here. But I found like, even calling a friend instead of texting or anything like that, I just like, let me call, one of my soul sisters and get on the phone for 20 minutes or an hour or 5 minutes, and just like that sharing of the voice, the sharing of the musicality of the sound, and in speaking and sharing and expressing. And I have found it to be so valuable. And that's like, I feel a lot of peace with that, because connecting with another and connecting with life, connecting with all that is so deeply important to me. And when I connect really deeply and allow myself to be really present with that which I'm connecting or who I'm connecting with, then it's so enriching and it's so nourishing, and I feel so much peace with that. And I even had that last night during the sound healing where, I made eye contact with this man, and I was just like, "Hi, how are you?" And we started speaking, and he told me about like where he's at and like his girlfriend, and she loves to cook and all this other stuff, and it was just such a beautiful moment of connection. And then, the three of us were talking, we were like, let's do dinner, like we can cook all something together, just sharing the joy of like sharing and being from different spaces in the world. And I was like, this brings me so much joy and so much peace, just the simplicity of connecting. So that's something that brings me a lot of peace, is the joy of connection. So yeah, now we're tuning in together to the guardian of the day. I love this deck is getting smaller and smaller because I have not put in the cards that have been pulled have not been put back in the deck. And today, our guardian is Holy Amethyst, Divine Alchemy. Move beyond current challenges, focus on what you desire, which I think is really beautiful. When we tune into the pace of our peace, let's see if it's going. Yeah, there we go. When we tune into the pace of our peace and allow peace to move through us, the peace of our heart, the love of our heart. There she is, really beautiful, amethyst purple, just like so royal. I find that when we move at the pace of our peace, what we desire becomes so very clear, or clarity around what the desire is, and getting to that clarity comes in, and it gives a lot of space, peace, the allowance of peace, the allowance of stillness in movement, and movement in stillness, allowing the pace that you're at too, like really, because it's different than everyone. And that's the beauty, of like tuning into yourself, and it's like, what is my pace, what is the flow for me right now, how can I honor that, right? And how can I weave with the paces that are around me without sacrificing where I'm at, right? So it creates a lot of space for a divine alchemy, for that love, and for that beautiful like downloads and or pings or intuitions, or just like connections that come in around what is it that you desire, which essentially is what is it that you want to focus on, what is it that you would like to focus your energy, right? And where's the joy of that, and how can you dance with all the aspects of that desire, right? So peace, the pace of your peace, I think really gives way to that, because in this space, it's like the pace of the peace means that relearning or restructuring, harmonizing the space of really allowing your pace to be at the forefront in your life, as you are the center pillar in your life, and and not micro adjusting or macro adjusting to the experiences around you, to the people around you, in order to fulfill the needs of others, while being at a sacrifice to yourself, or being at the expense of yourself, right? And this comes with people pleasing, which I know a lot of us move through in many ways. I know that's something that I have moved through and am continuing to dissolve. And so it's like, is it really helpful to micro adjust to someone at the expense of yourself? It actually causes a dissonance within the energetic, within the frequency and the vibration, that it's inauthentic. And so it feeds that. And then, there's misunderstandings that come through. There's like these confusions, these confusing things that come through. It's just like, wait, I'm a yes, but actually I'm a no. What's going on? And there is something, and I'm not speaking about giving and sharing and being of help and support to others. That's something that's different. What I'm saying is yes, give and help, but make sure that you are honoring the pace at where you're at, and the greatest gift that we can ever give anyone or anything in our relationship with the world and with everything is the truth of where we're at, the authenticity, and really seeing ourselves from this witness space, and just seeing like, where's the blind spot, the patterns, the love, the truth, the authentic expression that's in this now. So pace of your peace. The pace of my peace right now is like, is very confronting because it shows me how much I don't give myself the time for things that I really love, or just the time period, like rushing through things when I don't need to, really. And so it's been a journey, but I'm every day, every moment, I'm expanding deeper into the pace of my peace and just breathing through every aspect of it. So now, shuffling these cards to tune into together, what is the message of the day? What is our message of the day? I also love that the sunlight is coming through today. Usually I lower the blinds a little bit. But about this way, and the sun, it's like, no, today I'm coming through. I love it. Oh, there we go. They just fly right out, and I love this card. Dance with life. Do something to change your energy. I love this. I really, really love this card. And I think it's so perfect for Divine Alchemy. Holy Amethyst is our other card today. Oops. Yeah, I really love this because, can we be lighter in our expression? Can we allow the lightness even in the heaviest of moments? Can we allow the dance with life? We are forever dancing with life. And so this card I love too is do something to change your energy. Is like, dance with life. It's this invitation to do something different, right? And I love this because I was on the phone with a dear soul sister of mine yesterday, and there was this we spoke about how, in order to shift your reality, you have to do something different. And oftentimes maybe, this can be an uncomfortable thing because it's like, if you've done the same thing for a long time, then doing something different can be very much out of the comfort zone. So it's like leaning into the edges. But I think that's a beautiful invitation, because when we do, it's true. It's like, if you want, I think it was Albert Einstein who said, and I'm going to paraphrase the quote, but it's something along the lines where it's like, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. And insanity, like, I have a deep love for that word, because I think we're all, in the sort of general, like, society of ways, we are also all insane, because we are these creative, expressive beings, and when we do something that's out of the norm, we're crazy or whatever. And I'm just like, so we're all insane. That's a side note. But really, it's like, yeah, it's repetition is a big part of the way that we be in the world, especially as humans. This is why, discipline is so powerful and so important. So, like, it's like, where are you focusing the energy? And it's like the simple steps every single day that feeds into the quantum leaps, the quantum shifts in life. And, if we're doing the same thing over and over and over again, we're going to be getting the same results. Sometimes they look different, but they're actually the same. They're just coming in different expressions. So if there is a desire to receive something different or experience something different in your reality, then something different must be done, right? That's just like logical, right? And so, but there's so much resistance around that, right? Because it doesn't feel, maybe it doesn't feel peaceful, it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel comfortable and beautiful. Let's lean into those edges. And also, I know so many, myself included, for a long time, we get comfortable in discomfort. And I say that, like, I'm very comfortable being in discomfort, in the sense of, like, growth, and like, I'm like, okay, I'm expanding here. Oh, I feel uncomfortable, or there's like an edge here. Okay, let's lean in, let's grow. Like, there's comfortability in that. I'm speaking more so to the discomfort of like, for example, ill health, like, certain foods that we eat. So we're going to continue to live in discomfort in that way, like things that are very simple to shift, but maybe are difficult because of the patterning. So it's a very interesting space. It's same thing with like relationships, like attracting the same type of man. Okay, why? Because, okay, oh wow, that's something that my father used to do, and that's something that I, when I was 4 years old, I related to being love, and so that's something that I continue to attract in my life. Okay, let me shift. How can I reframe that? What is actually something that I desire? And how can I give myself what it is that I needed, say from my father at 4 years old, like a hug, words of reassurance, or just like being taken care of in that moment, to shift the pattern and shift the choice around, say the men that I'm attracting, something like that. So that's a lot of work with peace too. It's like peace, following the pace of your peace I'm not going to say does, but can come with discomfort, because it means rewiring and repatterning, and coming back into neutral harmony with the truth of who you be and the truth of what you are, which is love. And I think dancing with life, and just even changing one thing in your life that you did differently, um, where, say, yeah, instead of texting your friend for 20 minutes, you call them, or instead of taking the car or the train to the grocery store, you walk. These simple changes, it shift your entire reality, and it's doing something different, and doing something different that supports you, right? That really nourishes you. And that's a part of peace too, because when you're nourished and when you are filling your cup, then the ease of the overflow can be given so much more there. It just keeps coming. It's this infinite bounty, but we can really allow that to come through us with our paying attention, is what just comes through, with our intention, with our focus, with our honoring of where we're at all times, as best as we can. So just tune in if there's anything else that wants to be shared. I love you. I'm so happy that you're here. And I just looked at the timestamp, is 2727. I love that. 27 is like my number. It's like it's like the top number. Like when that comes into my life, I'm like, got it. It's powerful. For me. Let me tune in. Yeah, just give yourself permission to feel more, do less, or if you're doing more, doing it more with feeling, more with like your center, your groundedness, and just like, yeah, what's your peace like right now? What does it feel like? How can you breathe a little deeper and be more present, right? Peace is also, I think, a big part of like not multitasking, not running around all this stuff. It's just like focus. And all of these frequencies that we've been talking about the last 15 days are interweaving. It's like focus, presence, play, peace. Like it's all connected, right? So those of you that are tuning in now or tuning in at another now, welcome. I'm going to take a moment and tune into the tones. And yeah, my invitation to you is to close your eyes or not, but definitely taking a moment to take a few deep breaths here. And just releasing, taking a moment to yourself, your breath, just noticing what's here and opening up to receive the tones. Da, 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 Beloved ones, go at the pace of your peace. The pace of your peace is a gift. It is a healing balm for the world. It is what we are so deeply asking for as a collective, with everything that's going on with the earth in her alchemy, with the wars that are happening, with the separation between cultures and people, and thinking our differences are a bad thing, or that our differences are somehow not okay. It is what the world is so deeply asking for. And so when we go into our peace, when we allow ourselves to live from our peace, we gift the world with the possibility that it's possible. Because everything that happens out here is what's happening in here. It's all a reflection. And when we choose to dance with life in a different way, and we move into what is our peace, then we can start seeing differences in our reality. And it can be from sharing vulnerably with a friend of where you're at, which gives them a gift of their own reflection. It's just like, oh my goodness, I'm so happy that you shared this because this is what I've been going through. Right. And then that goes and inspires, say, that person to bring community together, to do something in a different way, like plant a community garden, right? And that community garden sparks the inspiration for a young child to grow their garden, learn about herbs, learn about plants. That then brings an initiative nationwide to bring in natural gardens into public spaces, which then that filters out into the world, and there's natural gardens and living foods that grow across the world. You see how it ripples out? That's just one infinite possibility out of, that's one possibility out of an infinite amount, right? So the gift and the pace of our piece of going there is, and being in that, is that it gifts the possibility and the ripple and the reflection of peace everywhere. And it starts within, and we do the best that we can in every moment. We learn, we see our blind spots, we reflect, we go where our joy is. We follow that ping within, that intuition, that psychic ability that each one of us has, and in our special and unique way. And it is a gift to the world, because then the world expands into more peace. And we've seen it happen time and time again. And the power of prayer, the power of coming together, the power of singing together, it moves so deeply. And giving that, sharing that is so profound. So do not doubt how powerful it is to honor your authenticity and where you're at in this moment, and to honor your peace, to honor your joy, because it really truly does ripple out into the whole, the microcosm of the macrocosm. And my nose just got very itchy. I love that. It's like tingles. Confirmations. So be curious today about the pace of your peace, about the divine alchemy as Holy Amethyst brings forward, the focus on what you desire, on the peace, and to dance with life in a different way today. How can you dance with life in a different way that is more nourishing, that is more feeding of your peace and your gift to the world, your sharing with the world, your creativity, your honor, your blueprint of being? I invite you to do this today, as I invite myself to do this today. And I love you. Thank you for being here. Tomorrow is day 16 out of 21, and I'm so excited. I just got like this like giddiness, like for day 16. I have no idea what's going to come through, but I'm excited to be here with you tomorrow. And as always, if you are resonating with these messages and would like to share them, please do. They're here for you, and they will be up. I am thinking about putting all of these videos, all these transmissions in one place, and that's either going to be probably either on YouTube or Patreon. So stay tuned to find that out. And yeah, but to have all of these in one place. So if you're like, oh, I really, wanted to listen to something that was in that space, for, angel of presence or something, they'll be there for you, as a tool if they so resonate with you in that way. So I love you. Bless you. Piece of light. Piece of light. You are a piece of light. You are one whole light, and you are also a piece of the bigger light. I love that. So, dearest light, go forth, have a beautiful day, be well, and honor your pace of peace today. And what that is, get curious and try something new in the way that you dance with life. And I will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. for day 16 of 21 Days of Angel Songs. I love you so much, and yeah, be well.